First race of the day about to get underway because the red lights are on and the lights go out and away they go, and it's a good start from the pole position car of Daniel Garrett as they head down towards the first corner at Clervaux. There's one car a little bit slow off the line, that's the number 66 car of Luke Stokes, but they're all turning their way into Clervaux corner for the first time. And there's a spinner there. Dave Berry, I can see, is involved in the number 28. Also, the 77 car involved of Andy Perkins as well, with yellow flags waving at the first corner, temporarily at least.
Yeah, Jeff Peake, I think it was, made a cracking start because he was up into third place into Clervaux, having started in fifth. Obviously, gained one position because of Paul Clark's not there, but it did manage to jump one of the cars ahead of him. But Daniel Garrett leading them out of Tower for the first time and towards the Jim Clark S's. And apart from that little scuffle towards the rear of the field, all looking fairly neat and tidy on this first lap so far. A couple of big cars diving as they go through Croft for the first time. Heading into Sunny Inn, and we see that number 27 machine, Mark Rue, looking up the inside in the middle of Sunny Inn and Sunny Out. But the leaders already making their way through the complex.
They are indeed. It's Daniel Garrett that's in the lead, Martin West that is in second place. Those two pulling away a little bit from Jeff Peake, who is in third position. Fourth place at the moment looks to be the car of number 17, which is Angus Goff, who started from the second row of the grid. Didn't see if Paul Clark ever actually managed to get going. I don't think he probably did, unfortunately, from the pit lane. So that's a great shame for him. So on to the second lap of this race. It's Daniel Garrett out front. He was leading by 0.3 of a second at the end of the opening lap.
Yeah, Martin West moving up into second position. The 2021 champion and returning to the Locost series this weekend. And it looks like side by side there it is indeed for the lead of the race, and it is the 94 of Martin West that has taken the lead from Daniel Garrett into Tower Bend for the second time of asking, and they've really dropped Jeff Peake in quite a hurry. So Martin West fancying the opportunity to lead early on, but Daniel Garrett is right with the 2021 champion as they head through Croft, this right-hander, and maybe they're just going to work together and try and pull away from Jeff Peake for a little bit though.
Yeah, it could be worth considering them doing that, working together to try and build the advantage. Two cars often better than one in low-cost racing because you can use that slipstream to tow each other around the circuit, whereas the driver that's his own, Jeff Peake, he's got no one to assist him at the moment because the fourth place car is a little bit further back. It looks like that's changed as well because it looks like Isaac Spears in the white and red car, number 7, has made his way up into fourth position now, ahead of Angus Goff. So it's Garrett from West as they come through to end the second lap. Yeah, there as you can see, Spears now in fifth. Fourth, should say, Goff in fifth, and I think it is still Alan Harmon possibly in sixth position. No, it's not. Jack Linus, 13, has made it into the top 6 as they end lap 2.
Back into Clervaux. This is the Isaac Spears car in fourth position, just ahead of Angus Goff, that did start on the second row of the grid. Angus Goff, the former motorcycle racer, as you mentioned there, Ian. In his second year of car racing now, having made the switch from motorcycle racing. And side by side for the lead once again into Tower Bend. This time it's Garrett going around the outside of Martin West, and he takes the lead back again. So a real tit-for-tat battle in the early stages of this race, but one car off at Tower Bend.
And that's Isaac Spears in the number 7 car. He was just ahead of Angus Goff, wasn't he? But now he's behind him. He's got enough of a gap back to Jack Linus, though, to stay in position. We're going to get a change for the lead here, though, at Croft. That is Martin West up the inside of Daniel Garrett. Nicely done. A very fast part of the circuit there, and he gets ahead of the number 19 of Daniel Garrett. But possibly it's just Martin's turn to tow Daniel around now for the next lap or so.
Well, we'll see. So 2 lead changes in just 1 lap. Fantastic squabble between Martin West and Dan Garrett here. Dan Garrett finishing second yesterday, Martin West third yesterday. But they're really giving us some great entertainment in the opening race of the day here at Croft. Out of the hairpin once again, 10 minutes left on the clock, so we're already a third of the way through this race, and it's Martin West with the best time at the moment. And in fact, I think it's set a new track record. That went yesterday, thanks to Paul Clark, and it's gone down even further with Dan Garrett. It says a 41 there, but on my timing screen, I'm getting a 40.078, which would be a new best lap. But Dan Garrett continuing to lead Martin West now down towards Tower, but Martin West getting a great tow down the back straight. Tower Bend has been the action point so far in this race, and they are side by side once again. But not quite actually. Martin West getting through much more easily that time.
Yeah, it's West with the best lap of the race, that 1:40.078. They're turning their way out of Tower Bend, heading off up to the Jim Clark Estes. Jeff Peak's not able to stay with them, is he? So a slightly different format of race to yesterday, really, in that we've just got the two cars leading together and pulling away from the rest of them. Peak in third, Goff fourth, Wessex Spears fifth, and then Jack Linus rounding out the top six. Liam, I can see, is up into 11th place. So he started back on row 8, so he's made some good progress during the course of this. And now we've got Martin West with his hand out. Now, is he acknowledging a flag? Yes, there must have been a yellow flag because he's just passed a green now at the complex. We could see a car stationary somewhere between Sunny and the complex out of the race, and it's the 20 car of the man from Sutton Coldfield, Bill Ward. He's out of the car by the looks of it.
Yeah, so that'll be why they were raising their hands going into the complex section. Green flags now around the rest of the circuit, and we've got another round of battles here. The top 5 really are streaking clear of the rest of the field. In fact, no changes into Clairvaux. Still Martin West leading the number 19 of Daniel Garrett, but will that change again going into Tower Bend, I wonder, because they're still separated by very little, only 0.4 of a second when they went over the timing line through the chicane, and the slipstream commences.
Oh, and a spin for
the 21. Kevin Straw.
Yeah, the Leeds man, the service engineer, racing since 2015. He has a moment there.
And Daniel Garrett has gone through on the back straight once again, so I've lost count of how many times the lead has changed hands in this race. But amazingly, they're not actually losing that much time to Jeff Peak, are they, despite their squabbles? No,
I mean, the gap has stayed pretty much stationary for the last couple of laps, really, between the first two and Jeff Peak. 2.2 seconds it is from first to third at the moment, so Peak just about keeping them in their sights. And if they start to fall over each other rather than work together, then maybe Jeff Peak could come into this and make it a three-car battle for the lead. Angus Goff another second and a half behind Jeff in fourth position. Although, contrary to what it says on your screens, it's still Martin West with the best lap of the race, 1:40.078. As the leaders turning their way through the first part of the complex once again. Gap back to Peak, but now West having a look up the inside at the hairpin. I don't think he's going to get such a good exit out of the corner, though. He's going to try, though, isn't he? But they're going to be almost neck and neck as they go over the lines. A mechanical warning flag being shown to one of the drivers. Can't see the number that's being shown to, but it is Garrett that comes out of the hairpin and down towards Clairvaux on lap 6 of probably 9, still in the lead of the race.
Well, that bit of tussle did actually cost them quite a bit of time to Jeff Peak, because he's now within a second of the second place man, Martin West. And if they keep squabbling like that at the hairpin, that will bring Jeff Peak back into play. But up until that point, the racing they had done was incredibly efficient. They need to get back to it if they want to keep ahead.
The car just pulled into the pit lane exit there. That is, we can't quite see the number on it, but it's out of the race anyway. This very much a typical Croft race, and it's not just me and you that think that. It's Tom Gadd, the former Locost champion, that thinks that as well. He's watching on the live stream as well, the way the two leaders are battling it out. Now we're looking a little bit further back here. That is Alan Harmon. He's got Sean Brain behind him now, so that's changed around during the course of this lap. But back with the lead, and you can see how Jeff Peak is starting to close in as they fell over one another about a lap or so ago. And Peak could soon make this a three-car battle for the lead. We've got about a third of the race left in terms of time and distance, I would say, because I'm expecting it to be 9 laps. We're coming towards the end of lap 6. It's still Garrett with the red roll cage ahead of the 94 of Martin West, the driver from Southampton. Good scrap going on for 4th and 5th now, because Isaac Spears has recaught Angus Goff after his moment at Tower a few laps ago. And the leaders are coming through to complete their 6th lap now, and there's only about 5 car lengths now between 2nd and 3rd, so Peak is definitely closing in.
Yeah, a match very similar on lap times once again, in the mid-40s on that occasion. No changes into Clervaux, and Jeff Peak still around 0.8 of a second behind Martin West. So in terms of lap times, when they're very... Oh, God, for goodness me, that was a heck of a moment there for Isaac Spears into Hawthorne, but he gathered it up very nicely indeed in his pursuit of Angus Goff for 4th position. And now we have side-by-side for the lead again. Martin West going well clear by the time they get down into Tower Bend. Jeff Peak now right with the leaders. So we've got 3 for the lead with 4 minutes to go, and it's Martin West, the 2021 champion, back up at the front of the field as they head towards Jim Clark S's once again.
Yeah, great scrap going on here through the left and right at the Jim Clark S. It's off now towards Croft. And then the sunny double right-hander at the far end of the circuit, but Peak's now very much in contention for this as well. It's a shame we've not got Paul Clark, yesterday's winner. Not quite sure what happened to him. Pulled off at the end of the parade lap and has not been seen since. Oh, no. That's disaster for Isaac Spears. He's having a great battle for 4th with Angus Goff, but the number 7 car is now parked up, and is that at Tower? That's parked up. There's a yellow flag certainly at Tower. I can see.
That could be crucial because we've only got 3 minutes left, and Tower Bend has obviously been the action spot in this race so far. If it stays yellow in there, we're going to lose a prime overtaking opportunity. There's also a car stopped at the hairpin. We can just see it at the top of the screen, and I can't quite see which one it is out the commentary box window.
Yeah, I can't make that out from here. But anyway, we're staying with the leaders who've now got 2 laps to go and slightly fewer overtaking opportunities than they might have had, but it's certainly 3 cars for the lead now. It's pretty much equidistant top 3. There's the number 5 car off the circuit now as well. That's Liam, the former Sports Specials champion from several years ago. He's now out of the race. He'd done well because he'd broken into the top 10, but it's going to be a non-finisher, I think.
Well, it's all happening in the closing stages of this race, isn't it? Yellow flags have been rescinded at Tower Bend, so they can race down there. And Daniel Garrett's looking down the inside on Martin West. Just gets his nose chopped off there by the former champion. And now raising their hands to acknowledge, I think, a different yellow flag, which maybe is a bit further down the order. I mean, all the cars are going to be yellow flagged at this point, although Liam's car has got going again, so it is clear at the complex. Now we're going to have to take this corner by corner, aren't we, to see when they're actually going to be able to race. Daniel Garrett again looking down the inside into Sunny Inn, but no way through there. They bunch up in the middle of that double right-hander, and now can Garrett try and get a run? He's pushing him. He's pushing him towards the complex, Ian.
Oh, well, this is fantastic racing. Down towards the complex they go, and wide goes Garrett. He cuts back across, though, in front of the... Sorry, West, that was wide, wasn't it? He cuts back across in the front of Garrett, and Peak right there as well. Still very much in contention for this race. They're going to go on to the final lap of the race, and it's West with a lead of about, I don't know, 4 car lengths. There's a slippery surface flag out now as well, just to add to the drama as they go on to the final lap of Croft.
But Garrett had a monster moment on the exit of the hairpin, and that has increased West's lead to 3/4 of a second going into this last lap. Has that cost him a crucial opportunity to try and pass him down into Tower Bend, where there are double waved yellows now as well, because we've got a car off again, so he definitely won't be able to have a run there.
Yeah, that is not going to be the place to make the overtake. They're just heading through the chicane now. They're going to have to go line astern through Tower Bend for the final time, which leaves very few opportunities left for a position change. But, of course, it doesn't necessarily stop Garrett closing in a little bit on Martin West, and it was about 4 or 5 car gap between them at the start of the lap. It's down to about 1.5 car lengths now as they come out of Tower through the Jim Clark S's for the final time.
And I think the rest of the circuit is clear. It's definitely clear in the complex over my shoulder. Let's hope it stays that way, because despite that moment at the hairpin that cost him time, Dan Garrett is right back with Martin West and all over the back of that 94 car going into Croft and Sunny Inn. And Martin West has a bit of a twitch in Sunny Inn. That just brings Daniel Garrett right back into it as well. Jeff Peak waiting in the wings as well to see if there's any scraps he might be able to pick up. Last couple of corners to go. It looked like Daniel Garrett was having a look up the inside into the complex. Wasn't quite able to draw alongside Martin Westcar. Only 2 corners to go. Is he going to have a lunge at the hairpin? It might be his final opportunity, but they're being very well behaved.
Yeah, they've followed one another more or less through. Can anyone get a better exit out of the hairpin? No, I think they're going to finish in the same order that they went into the hairpin. So it's going to be Martin West that wins round 2 of the Yokohama Locost Championship. Dan Garrett takes second place. Jeff Peaks takes third. They're all separated by less than 9/10 of a second. Fourth across the line is number 17, which is Angus Goff. Fifth is going to be number 13, Jack Linus. He's just heading up to the line now. Sixth is going to be number 8, Sean Frame. He's not that far ahead of the number 52 car of Alan Harmon. In 8th place, it's going to be the 57 car, which is that of Daniel Russell. And no, in fact, it's Russell that got ahead of Harmon on the final lap. I beg your pardon. Those two switched around. And then 9th place, that's going to be Lewis Ward. That's a good drive from him, having collected a spare car yesterday after his original car had problems in testing. So he's gone through to 9th place, and it should be Mark Rue. Is it across the line to complete the top 10 just by less than 2/10 or about 2/10 of a second from Rob Sisson? Another great race, and it's not over yet.
No, there's still more, all the way down to the back of the pack. Where's that? That's the number 41 car. Keith Malpas leading 3 cars over the line here, which should be for 13th, 14th and 15th positions there. Malpas getting over the line in 13th. The 77, Andy Perkins in 14th and 15th. It's the 66 of Luke Stokes. Still to come across the line is the 37 of Steve Brown, which he has done now. And finally, the 34 of Trevor Faunch in 17th place. What a race.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? Martin West, the winner. A 2-car battle to start with. It developed into a 3-car fight, a little bit stymied occasionally by yellow flags, limiting overtaking opportunities at various parts of the circuit. But in the end, it was Martin West that took the win at the end of 9 laps. Car 94, 0.49 seconds. The gap back to number 19, Daniel Garrett in second. Third was number 29, Jeff Peak. Fourth was 17, Angus Goff. Fifth, number 13, Jack Linus. Sixth, number 8, Sean Brame. Daniel Russell was 7th at number 57, getting that place on the last lap ahead of number 52, Alan Harmon in 8th. 9th was number 81, Lewis Ward. Running out the top 10 was number 27, Mark Rowe, ahead of Rob Sisson, Kevin Straw after a moment for him, Keith Malpas and Andy Perkins. And a bit further back, we had Luke Stokes, Steve Brown, Trevor Faunch, and then the rest were retirements. We lost Ian Hardy, I think, to the pit lane, Dave Berry, Isaac Spears, Liam, Glyn Griffiths and Bill Ward, all retirements from the second race of the weekend for the Locost. So I suspect with only a couple of hours before the next Locost round, it might be a slightly reduced field for that one, because we've only got 3 more races between that and the next Locost race. We've got Classic Stock Hatch coming up next. We've got Sports 1000, we've got the 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup, and then it's more low-cost alphas, and then the Takiwa Club Enduro Championship to round out the day here at Croft Circuit. Down in the pit lane today, Tom Butterworth is about to speak to our top 3 from the low-cost race, Jeff Peak, Dan Garrett and Martin West.
Martin.
Yes.
What a race.
Oh, that was good fun, wasn't it? Oh, that was hard work, that was. But,
I counted 8 overtakes for the lead between the 2 of you.
Yeah, I think there'd have been a lot more if we weren't playing idiots with each other. We both didn't want to be in the lead. We both knew what we were doing. We were both trying to back each other up in a Jeff to give themselves a bit of pressure. So, yeah, a very tactical race that was. But in the end, I think I could see Dan struggling with his tyres a bit, so I thought, I'm going to go early and try and get away, and luckily it worked. I think he was struggling getting off the hairpin here, so it gave me a little gap and enough to protect me, but we didn't see a last lap board, and then I come round and then there was the flag, so I was like, oh, happy days, that'll do me. So there we are.
Okay, well, brilliant. I mean, Daniel sent it round the outside at Tower, and you managed to get the old switcheroo back into Barcroft as well. I mean, we were pretty happy with that. It looked a bit leery going in, but all under control, I'm sure.
I think we were both just grinning from ear hole to ear hole. You know, when we come alongside each other after the checkered flag, we're just grinning from ear hole to ear hole. When you're having good fun like that, you know, and you trust in the people you're racing with, it makes it also much more fun, sort of thing. So, yeah, brilliant fun that was. Really enjoyed that.
Great stuff. Well, Martin, you and I have a little tradition, don't we, when we chat here? I don't know if you remember this.
Victory Lane, I believe.
That's the one, right. So hang on here for me, and we're going to try and repeat that. I'm going to go over and speak to Daniel Garrett, who finished second in this one. But what a race that was, Daniel, especially that overtake around the outside into Tower.
That was brilliant. Brilliant. To be honest, the truth is, I gave it to Clarkie yesterday. I gave it to Westy today, so I can have the third one.
Okay. Fair enough. Right. So you're okay. You've given it to him. Is that the way?
Yeah, I've given it to him. It's gentleman-like, isn't it?
It looked like you were with him right away, and it was just slipstreaming. It was kind of going to be like whoever was in second on the last lap was going to win it, and then Martin just managed to hold on.
He did. Oh no, he's got the experience. Yeah, and to be fair, I was waiting for that last lap board, and then I was struggling to get second into there, but he had me, absolutely had me. No, it was brilliant racing. Yeah, can't complain.
Great stuff. Well, we've got one more race for you guys again today, so yeah, that's it. You're going for it now.
Oh yeah.
Full set.
My race. That's my race.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we'll look forward to that one. So I'm going to come around and have a chat with Jeff Peake, finishing third. Jeff came from a long way back in that one as well. Were you just waiting for the tyres to come in, or what was it?
No, I was just trying to find my place because yesterday in the race, the car broke down. I was in fifth, and I had no idea what was underneath me. I didn't know if I'd fixed the problem or anything. And then it took me a couple of laps just to get some confidence in the car, and then suddenly, yeah, I'm in, and I started chasing them down.
I'd actually written that down in my notes. So DNF yesterday, and then back on the podium today. So, you know, it could have gone a lot worse, couldn't it, today?
Oh, definitely, yeah, because it was another DNF. Then for the next race, I'll be on the back of the grid. So, yeah that's it's been worth all the work we did last night. So,
brilliant. What was the work that you did last night?
Oh, you name it, we changed it. As simple as that. So I don't.
If it got a bolt in it, it went back.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't know what fixed it, but it's fixed. So
great stuff. All right, well, thank you very much for that. I'm going to go. I'm just going to head over this way and speak to Martin one more time because we have a little tradition.
We do indeed.
As I said, Martin, if you can have a look behind on the camera here, has got this Days of Thunder style livery that he's put on, and we had a good chat about this. It must have been 18 months, 2 years ago now, and we had a thing where you won the race, so we decided to repeat the end of Days of Thunder, didn't we? Yeah. And that's what we're going to do now before we go to the ad break and on to race number 2.
You still think you're quick enough?
Let's have it.